Act 3, Scene 4 of Romeo and Juliet. And let's get started. Oh, I am not Venom. Alright, Romeo and Juliet, Act 3, Scene 4, the second to last scene of Act 3. The Capulets grieve at another hasty wedding. So the Capulets are grieving the death of Tybalt, and the captives discuss with Paris the strength of Juliet's reaction to the news of Tybalt's death. And so they decide that her wedding with Paris should be arranged as soon as possible. Basically, the wedding should be ASAP. The Lady Capulet is told to give Juliet the message that the wedding will take place in 3 days' time. It was Monday, and that meant it would happen on Thursday. Bad timing, Capulet. Bad timing. If that never happened, this tragedy would never even have happened at all. And so that is all I'm going to say right now, because there is a lot more to talk about. This sudden decision for the Capulets to make Juliet Capulet to insist that his daughter must marry Paris brings a news of urgency to the reader, or at least, I guess, the audience. This is a disaster for Romeo and Juliet, and the Capulet is reverting to the traditional role of the father in the male-dominated society, and that is nowadays seen as a bad example of a father and society. Now that that's actually happened, what now? They haven't broke the news to Juliet yet. That's thankful. The audience will have to see what it actually happens. And yeah, the Capulet is clearly distressed about Tybalt's death, but it's also pragmatic because Paris is asking for a proposal to Juliet Capulet, and it was said that she cannot refuse or else I'll disown you and beat her and never look at her again and all that stuff. His view is not so cynical, but reflects a society in which he lived, where the life expectancy was very short. So usually they had to marry at 13 or so, because mainly, I guess back then, of a lot of things, back then they didn't reach 40. They didn't even reach 30 years old. The life expectancy was like a fraction of today's one. There is a lot of things that I have to talk about Romeo and Juliet before we move on. One thing that I have found out about so was a lot. There is one thing that could not even happen. There's a lot of discussion about time here, and Lady Capulet does not know this, but once she goes out, Romeo comes into the balcony and does a lot of things. The events in the play are moving at a fast pace, and by the time the lovers are together, they discuss that about day and time. They keep saying that it's just a trick of the light, that it's not day yet, it's still night. But the only way that they can be together is if they just control time, and they can't do that. They have to bend the universe at their will, and nothing can do that except the universe itself. That is everything I have talked and tell you guys about, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. So, see you then. Schnan out. Peace.